Hi, hey there. I'm Jen Rice, and I wanted to talk today about one of the things that I get asked. I want to say it's probably one of the most asked question that I get either through Facebook Messenger or through Voxer, even from my friends, and that is around Botox. And a lot of women and men, get Botox procedures, and I'm going to use the term Botox because, there are different types of Botox. There's Botox, Dysport, Xeomin. There's other players on the market overseas, but basically these injections are usually done in a dermatology or plastic surgery office. You'll see them now in medical spas and even other offices, but a lot of my girlfriends and even, people that I've met through online will message me about questions around Botox. Like, for example, I have these, creases, the 11s through my forehead, or they just seem so deep, and I'm just curious, do you do Botox? What do you think about it? Is it safe? All of these kind of questions. So I thought a video would be really helpful and kind of just open up the conversation, because I don't think it's not a taboo conversation. It's a procedure like others that can make people feel better. Oftentimes I always think that people do these injections because it makes them feel better about themselves. I wouldn't say that it's something that other people around them are noticing as much as they maybe notice about themselves. And there are a lot of things that we do every day that are kind of for us. And so, what does Botox actually do? And I'm just going to call it Botox because that's sort of what it's, the name that everybody knows. But any of these neuromuscular inhibitors are used. They were originally designed to be used in certain things, like they use it for lazy eye, eye twitches, neck spasms, chronic migraines, overactive bladder. I see you guys jumping on. Thanks for being here. Topic today is Botox, because I get asked a lot of questions about this, and so I'm kind of running through the common medical conditions that it was sort of designed to be used for, and then of course it made its way into anti-aging market. But excessive sweating, definitely cerebral palsy. So neurologists were using this product, and still do, for a lot of different neurological conditions, because what it's doing is it's preventing the contraction of the muscle. So like, if I'm going to show on my own eyes, like that is a contraction. So like Botox for me, which I don't have here right now, by the way, the lines at rest are probably still going to be there at rest before using Botox and after. But if you're making lines like so, you can be pretty sure that if you do Botox in those areas, they're going to be more relaxed, and you probably won't be able to make those wrinkles, if that makes sense. So, I wanted to look and see what were dermatologists saying about this now, like what's the updated information. And we know that, of course, Botox, any of these these preventing the contraction type of products, they're derived from naturally occurring sources. So these sources are from the environment. And basically, I'm not going to go so far as to say Botox is all natural, but let's be real, where it's coming from are naturally derived sources. But I think a lot of the questions that come to me have more to do with, is this safe for me? Should I do this? What do you think? Like, should I do this? Is I think really what people are asking. And I think it's a very individual decision. Unlike like everything else that really comes to your health, medicine, elective things, it's always something you want to weigh for yourself. We know that it has been proven very safe for people. Dr. Caroline Chang, I want to make sure I cite this because she is a professor of dermatology at Brown University. So, she's kind of all in the know in derm, and she says that basically doing Botox injections will weaken the muscles over time. So you may find that maybe you do it 1 or 2 times, it's not going to do that. But over a period of every 3 months ongoing, those muscles will become weaker and weaker over time because you're using something to make them weaker. She also mentions that, well, actually Dr. Wexler, who's a pretty famous dermatologist, she talks about one issue could be if you start using the product in your 20s, over time you can have the skin become more thin in the areas. So, you know, I think if you're watching this in your 40s or 50s or 60s or whatever, you know, this is not an issue she talks about for maybe that age group, but she says when people start very young, sometimes there can be some thinning in that area. She also talked about the veins of the face. So a lot of us have a vein that runs kind of all through here. I've been injecting Botox, Dysport, Xeomin for over 13 years, so I'm pretty familiar with the product and then different facial anatomy. And so when people are when we have patients get injected, there may be some more vein predominance in certain areas, and she talks about that this can just become more obvious as you have muscle atrophy in the area. So as we're kind of making the muscles not work anymore, there'll be atrophy of that muscle and other structures may stand out more. And this is where she talks about that, you know, Botox, Dysport, Xeomin, whichever ones we want to call out, they're great for fighting wrinkles, but they're only one small part of really a regimen that you should be doing for your skin, because it's not going to do a lot for tone and texture. It's definitely not doing anything for pigmentation or smoothing the pigment across your skin. Or, you know, we're talking about it does one thing, which it does really, really well. And, you know, one of my girlfriends who messaged me, she was mainly talking about, you know, between her brow, it was really starting to bother her. And so, you know, I think that as long as you're going to a place where you trust your provider, whether it's a PA, nurse practitioner, nurse injector, doctor, you want to make sure the person has done a lot of treatments and that you feel comfortable with them. Maybe you even know someone that's had a procedure from them. And then you can always go for a consult and see what you feel. And I think it becomes like, I don't like to write someone back and say, oh, 110%, go do it. You know, because there are some people that maybe it isn't the best treatment choice. If you have a neurological condition, it would cause me pause if I had some neuro issues, mainly because there was a recent study out of Australia. It was in 2015. I think it was the Queensland, I don't know, it says a study. I can definitely pop it in here below so you guys can read it. But essentially it was saying that they started tracking the Botox down a nerve and they saw migration of the product. And so in a very small amount, that means nothing. It's more like the larger amounts where, you know, someone may want to consider, you know, what the choice is for them. So I think, again, the answer I give people is that I am a believer in the product. I do think it works really well for you know, what it's set out to do, which is to work on the wrinkles that are in specific areas of the face. However, it's only one part of a really good skin regimen, and so you want to be making sure that you're using other things like things that help your tone and texture and pigmentation and sun protection. Sun protection, sun protection, sun protection will, you know, keep the new wrinkles from coming. And so I hope you guys found value in this video. Like I said, you know, I think you have to do your own research too and do what's best for you. And if you'd like more information though, I do have a PDF file on Botox that I did, I think, a little over a year ago. It's still probably pretty relevant. And if you'd like to grab that, I'll put that in the links section. But I hope you guys have a great day. It's actually kind of cool here in Naples today. I won't even go there because I know I've seen the pictures in North Carolina of the snow and all the stuff happening. So I hope you guys are safe if you're there. My friends that are in North Carolina, there's been just a lot of weather happening around. And I hope you guys have a great day, and talk to you soon. Oh, and feel free to put your questions about this in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer anything. All right, take care.